Throughout this module, I have been talking about this concept of organizing data. Exercise 3 touches upon the next step because once we have the data, we want to start making sense of it. This is where data becomes information. So for example, when we look at this table, do you think this is data or information?
I feel like this is information.
This is data.
What?
You see, the problem with this table is that they're just records of events. They're just facts, okay? Like even though I can understand it and I know that I made $1,258 on January 5th, it's not useful to us. Data gives us a basis to be useful, but unless we do something to it, unless we contextualize it, then it will never be useful. So what we want is information. It takes our data and it gives it meaning, and this meaning puts us in a position to be able to make better decisions. Now, the easiest way to turn data into information is to apply the method of comparing. So specifically, the type of numbers that we would be comparing in this example is revenue, because that's what we have. And in this specific case of exercise 3, compare revenue by day of the week. So let's find out revenue earned by day of the week for July 2016. The syntax that we're using for the SUMIFs is more or less going to be the same as exercise 2. Keep in mind though that the categories that we designate are different. So the sum range is going to be the same like in exercise 2. Criteria range is going to be room charge. The second criteria is going to be day of the week, not the specific dates. And we're looking for Monday. Now we can't forget about the last criteria because we're only trying to find revenue earned for July. So we need to designate the criteria range to column M and then set the criteria to July. Perfect. In exercise 2, I mentioned how the SUMIFs makes organizing data more efficient, right? Because it automates how we process the data. I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So in this formula, you have hard-coded the word Monday in there, right? But let us instead designate the cell location of Monday. Now, as you can see, this doesn't really change the result. But what we can do now is copy this cell down to the blank for Tuesday. Let's give that a shot. So right-click it, let's copy this, and let's paste it. And notice how the number changes, right? And this is the revenue earned for Tuesday. Now, even better, what you can do, hover our mouse over that little green square, and let's drag it down. And now, automatically, we have the revenue earned for every single day of the week.
So you only have to do it once.
The thought process is we only have to create one formula, and once you drag it down, everything is automatically populated. Now the question is why? The big idea behind this is that Excel is very dynamic. Let's double click this formula. The cell references move down as you go down. So this works vertically, but it can also work horizontally. So try copying this formula to the right and double click the cell and notice how this new cell reference is in this gray cell because once you copy the formula to the right, the cell reference also moves to the right along with it. In conclusion, this copy feature allows you to very efficiently and very quickly manipulate and organize this data in the way that we want to. Now let's talk about this idea of turning data into information. Now that we have revenue earned by day, what kind of meaning can we extract from this?
Well, we can see some trends in the week and seeing how revenue increases towards the weekend.
Right.
And then towards the weekdays, it's much less.
Right, exactly. So watch this. I'm going to select this. I'm going to click conditional formatting, color scale, and this makes it kind of pop out for us, right? Now, what do you think this information tells us about this particular hotel's customers?
They come for leisure.
Exactly. The travelers or the guests that stay at this hotel are leisure travelers as opposed to business travelers that generally come on the weekdays. And this adds another depth to understanding what this hotel is all about. By contextualizing it and mapping out revenue earned by day of the week, we have now given meaning to this data. Now, this is still very surface level, obviously, but I just want you to kind of see the difference between data and information. Data, again, is just facts. It's just records of events. Information is something that has a lot more meaning and it's a lot more useful.